I'm not a power gamer, honest. I just think they're cool, okay? Please don't question me. Hello, everyone. Didn't see you come in. Glass half dead here. Doing some hobby time. So, I had a few ideas that I wanted to just kind of say. See if anybody resounded with them, anything like that. Feel free to ignore. Hopefully this will only be a quick one, but I do have a tendency to ramble, don't I? So, I wanted to have a chat about people that like to follow the rules. In Warhammer, it's I think we all know the phrase, that guy, right? That guy has a meaning to it beyond just a person that is a guy. Or girl. Very inclusive here, of course. No, when we say that guy, of course, what we mean is the person that uses the rule system to their advantage, whatever that may be. That's what that guy means. Typically. And sometimes I fear that I may be that guy. But to my mind, I'm not, obviously. But I think that that guy very rarely thinks they are that guy. Okay, so this seems to have turned into a that guy rant. It's not going to be, though. We're going to move on. The thing is, I like to play the game that I have bought. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind home rules. Home rules are fine. I used to play homebrew rules with one of my friends relatively often. It was good. However, to me, there is a certain satisfaction that comes from playing the game the way it is supposed to be played. Now, obviously, Games Workshop isn't exactly the best, or they don't have the best track record when it comes to playtesting their games and releasing balanced rule sets. And my god, do they like to sell their models through power creep through their codexes throughout an edition, right? I mean, they have to be doing that deliberately. They're not actually crazy enough to think, oh yeah, this codex is balanced. There is a certain satisfaction that comes from playing a game the way it is supposed to be played, and in a very weird, mildly on the spectrum way, playing things correctly. Being the guy that people go to when they have a rules question is pretty gratifying, you know? I'm not saying it's a power trip. Nobody was saying it was a power trip until I just said it. So let's ignore that. The beauty of playing a game the way it's supposed to be played appeals to me. That's all. And I don't mind if the rules are good or bad, or positive or negative, for the way that I'm choosing to play that game. For example, Teslas. Where's my boy? Here he is. Boom. Teslas. Yeah? Do their guns explode on a 6 before or after modification? That's the big question about Teslas. Because if they explode before modification, so they will always explode on a natural 6. That's what that would mean. Well, that means, you know, one thing for them. But if they only explode after modification, then that means another thing for them. It means that there are some enemies where they simply cannot, literally cannot, no matter what you roll or do, explode. They will never do their 3 hits. Is that how they're meant to be played? A gun that cannot do what it says it can do? Seems weird. Or Tau Breachers. They have a gun, which is pretty powerful, has different range profiles, and when you get down to the shortest range, your range is 5 inches. However, the maximum range of the gun is 15 inches. Does that mean that you are only actually shooting at your full BS at 2.5 inches away? That's only 1.5 inches further than close combat range. That's crazy. Pretty cool when you think about it, actually, but is that the way it's meant to be played, or are you supposed to be playing it at the full 15 inches and then at half range, which your 5-inch short-range profile will always be is farming at full ballistic skill. It's hard to say. We don't know. We need an FAQ. However, a lot of people are homebrewing the rules. They will say, you know what? My breachers only being able to shoot full ballistic skill when they're in 2.5 inches is insane. Let's home rule it. We're using the maximum profile of the gun. So as soon as you are within 5 inches, you can shoot at full BS. And I have no issue with people homebrewing rules. Don't get me wrong. I personally like to know that I am playing the game in the correct way. Even if that means my Tesla never explodes. That's fine. As long as I'm playing it correctly, I will change my list. Even if that means that my breachers are only ever hitting at full BS when they're within 2.5 inches of the enemy. That's fine. Tell me, and I will sort my list out around it. I'm not wanting anyone to play in a way they don't want to play. I like to play the way the rules tell me I should. And if I ever get challenged by somebody, so if somebody plays a rule wrong, I will tell them, that's not the way it's played. This is the way it's played. If they put up any resistance, I'd say, yeah, okay, we can play it your way. You know, I told them they didn't want to play it that way. Or they believed themselves right and me wrong. Foolish, as that notion may seem. And it's like, okay, cool. But there are some people that have a somewhat less relaxed attitude to these things than me. They know the rules. Whether they're actually right or wrong, they know the rules. And they will push those rules until you prove them wrong. And even when you show them what it says in the rulebook, the problem is things can be interpreted in the incorrect way, can't they? So even when you show them, well, no, in the rulebook it clearly says blah, blah, blah. To which they will respond, yes, but the profile of the gun always means the maximum range. So you can always fire the short range of the breacher thing, of the breacher carbine, pulse carbine, whatever it's called, at full ballistic skill when you're shooting at short range. It's like, well, actually, I just told you no, you can't. But they will insist. Anyway, so this is really just a video to say that sometimes people may come across, like me, as if they are absolute sticklers for the rules. As if you playing the rules wrong offends them almost. And I just want to say that's really not the case. I just get a certain kick out of knowing that I am playing the game that I bought. Odd as that might sound. I am playing the game that I bought and that you bought. And if you want to homebrew the rules, tell me before the game starts. We can play it your way. And when I go to my local game store, they have a different interpretation of the rules compared to Reddit, which is a place I hang out on a lot. And you know what? I'm there. They want to play it that way. I'll play it that way. Now, if they're genuinely playing something wrong, I will point it out. But that's rarely the case. Normally, I mean, let's be honest, with Kill Team, the rules are pretty good. There aren't many instances where you're genuinely confused. Yes, there's the occasional poor wording choices, but actually they're pretty few and far between. And you know what? If it means you have to home rule a few things, okay, that's fine. I don't really care. No big deal. You know? Don't worry, I'm not going to go to the end of me having built this model, because this is taking a long time. I should wrap this up now. This has gone on for far too long. By the way, anybody out there, this is the real way to, this stuff right here. Humble liquid poly. Dirt cheap, and it has a brush applicator. This is the good stuff. Trust me. Oh, this is a fresh pot. It's pungent. Jesus Christ. I haven't got this guy's legs. I knew I was forgetting something. And it was his legs. Good stuff. The reason I'm talking about people that are anal, on the spectrum, and absolute fucking pedants. That was pedants, people that are pedantic. Thank you. Don't be weird. Is because I'm about to launch into a few commonly asked rules questions that I'm seeing on Reddit, or things that seem to get mixed up at my local game store, and give my view on them. And I'm going to give my own interpretation of them, the general interpretation I've seen from others on Reddit, and the way my local game store plays them. Because I think all of those are valid ways to read something. And until an FAQ comes out that definitively tells us the way something should or should not be played, all we can do is interpret. And again, it's not many rules, it's only one or two. But yes, that's going to come up after my Necron things that I'm doing at the moment. And I'm going to finish building this Grey Knight Strike squad. Because I'm not a power gamer, honest. I just think they're cool, okay? Please don't question me. Coming up next, though, one day, guys, you're going to see this bad boy. Plan is, right? So I've picked up the Deathwatch Kill Team box. I've picked up this. And as you know, I've already got Sectum Unitorum. This is going to be the centre of the board. My Deathwatch Kill Team will set up around this, you know, whatever. 4 inches around this, who knows. And then the enemy's deployment will be all the way around the edge, wherever they want to deploy. A narrative game, obviously. I'm not all about competitive. It'll be a narrative. And then I'm going to pack as densely as possible the new terrain kit Killzone expansion that's coming up, which is the Deathwatch world, so the Death Forest. My God, they look so bad, those trees. I don't know what GW was smoking when they made them up, but they did. And so there's going to be like, I don't know, another 4 inches maybe, not much, of actual clear ground where this landed to the start of the trees. But that will make the forest really dense. This just landed, it hot dropped in, the guys jumped out, and then there's waves of whatever, I don't know, coming at them, and they're Deathwatch, so they're going to be Xenos. That just sounds super cool to me. But it does mean that I had to buy this just so I can play like one mission. Well, this has been me rambling. This was meant to be short. This has been, yeah, like 15 minutes. Point of the entire thing, guys. Just because people like to follow the rules does not mean that they are trying to ruin your hobby fun. They are just trying to play. Well, sometimes, obviously, some of them are. Some of them are power gaming twats. But generally, they just want to play the game correctly and know that they are playing the game correctly. I mean, that's the thing for me. If it means that I have to change up my list because the way I thought I was playing, or the way I was playing the game that I thought was correct is completely wrong, that's fine. I would rather play a worse list. If you tell me, oh, Grey Knights, you read that wrong. They've all got 4-up saves, not 3-ups. I'd be like, oh, really? Well, shit, you're right, they do. I misread that. Okay, let's play it that way. Again, there's a certain satisfaction in playing the game correctly. And when I was playing the tournament over the weekend, there were lots of small rules interactions that I got wrong. And my opponent said, oh, actually, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, yes, you're right. That is, I was incorrect. You were right. And that was good. I enjoyed that. I liked having what I thought I knew was correct being challenged and being proven wrong. And then I've come away from that weekend knowing a lot more about the rules, which hopefully I'm going to pass on to you guys soon in the next video. Once I've finished building this, I will have the rule book in front of me instead of me being distracted on my hobby time. This has gone on way too long. Alright, thanks very much, guys. Challenge the rules just like life challenges you. Yeah, bye.